Right, now it is time to put a Formula One star in our old, reasonably priced car. My guest tonight is a Brazilian. Not the triangular topiary thing, obviously. He really is a genuine Brazilian. Ladies and gentlemen, Rubens Barrichello! Rubens is among us. Have a seat. Have a seat. I've got a question, if I may. Why has your country given its name to, how can I put this, triangular topiary?
I think it's a term used in England because in Brazil we call the Hitlers.
A what?
He's saying that a little...
You say you have a Hitler?
A Hitler there.
Has anybody here got a Brazilian? You have, sir. Well, I think about that anyway. Obviously, it was Silverstone this afternoon. Well done for winning.
Thank you.
Nasty crash.
Yeah.
Should have covered it there.
Well.
Should explain it is now Wednesday. Oh, we have no idea.
Oh, well.
And I'm just thinking, that will be... How many races is it you will have done by this evening now?
297.
297. Is that a record now? You set the record for the most Grand Prix?
Yeah. I mean, I never thought, when I raced for the first time, I never thought I would race for such a long period, but I'm enjoying more than I used to.
Because you must now be, what, 78?
Yeah.
Anyway, you're now driving for one of the great teams, really, Williams.
Well, I tell you, it's since a very young kid when I was driving go-karts, I have interviews when people ask me, which team would you like to drive? And it was for Williams.
Why was that?
I don't know, I just had a great passion for Frank Williams, and you can see nowadays he's so passionate about everything, and I'm trying to lead the team to a different era, and they are changing, and I think the future is quite bright.
So, Ferrari, just to go there, obviously, you had that period where you were there with his Schumacher-ness. You must have known when you got there that you were going to be effectively the whipping boy.
I did not.
Really, you didn't?
That's the funny bit, because people say, you know, shut up, Rubens, you knew that you were going to play second in that team. And when I signed, I made sure to ask, you know, is that everything to him, or am I going to have a chance? And in my contract, it was zero. There was no mentioning of becoming a second driver there.
So you were very surprised. It was Austria, I think, wasn't it, when you were winning the race and he was behind you, and then the call came through, would you mind awfully getting out of his way? Was that a big surprise?
It was almost like that. You know, people ask me, why did you do on the last corner? Because in my mind, I was never going to do it. You know, it was 8 laps. You know, it was almost like the lawyer was sitting here, and people, you know, it was a discussion going on.
There's a discussion back at the pit?
Yeah, and I could only say, no, I'm not going to do it.
And did you actually say?
I said that, I'm not going to do it, until the very final bits, when they were a bit more focused on saying something that
Did they say, well, we've got one of your pets here, now will you move over and let him go by?
It was almost like that, yeah.
Mind you, of course, it got even worse when you ended up at Honda, because they were, let's be honest, rubbish. And when Honda went belly up, obviously, and pulled out of the sport, did you think, well, that's it, my career's over? How did you manage to get Ross Brawn to say, yes, come and race for me?
Well, at the end of the day, you know, there was a time when we were talking about the young lads driving the car, and all of a sudden, no testing meant that an experienced driver was requested again.
Oh, of course, you know, that makes sense.
So then I think it was a good choice from Ross to call me back on.
To stick with it. Anyway, of course, you came down here because we have our Formula One board here, yes?
You see.
And you wanted to see where you'd come in our old reasonably priced car, the old Liana, which has been gathering dust somewhere. Was it fun?
It was fun.
Really?
Yeah, it was. Because you think, you know, I drive this car with so much power and everything, but it's a different challenge. I mean, when you step on the brakes, that, you know, back end...
So smoothness is what...
Keep it quite smooth.
Well, I think the time has come.
I hope it was a good one.
Well, shall we find out? Who wants to see the lap? Yeah. Okay, let's play the tape. Oh, it's nice to see the old girl back.
Woohoo!
Now concentrate.
Remember that I drive normally on that side, huh?
Well, that's your fault for driving on the wrong side of the road now. Yes, now that's the Stig's line through there. All the other F1 drivers come way further out.
Well, he told me into that, and I thought it was, you see, come on, horse.
Yeah, it's not a horse, but there we are. But what can I say? I'm not going to say, well, that's not very good, am I?
Well,
very good down to the hammerhead.
Let's see. This is a difficult part, huh?
It is. It normally makes the car understeer there, but you've got to look at that, you see. How come you can do that and all our guests just can't? I suppose that's because they're mostly actors or comedians.
Wave to the camera.
Oh,
The gear just went.
Well, it must be strange for you to actually have to change. When was the last time you changed gear?
You know
in a car?
what? I started Formula One, and it was already the automatic.
Yeah, and you bet your road car has. What's your road car?
My road. I have an M5. So
Flappy paddle, so you haven't changed gear for you. Oh, look at that, lovely through the second to last. And here we are now.
what's the time? Give me the time.
The time. There we are, across the line. So we got the Stig at 1:44.4, Mansell 1:44.6, and then we're down. Lewis actually did that with a wet lap at 1:44.7, which was fairly remarkable.
That's an
and then down to Mark, well, he flew around actually. Just decided not to bother. So where do you reckon?
I don't know. My heart is beating more than at the start of the Silverstone GP. I tell you.
Well, this is obviously a more popular show. I have the time here.
Okay.
Rubens, Barrichello, you did it in 1 minute.
Well, that's already.
40.
I'm on the page then.
You're on the page. 4. Point.
44.
It's fantastic, and it's also staggering that you should have beaten him. We need to get you out of this building in some careful way now.
You know,
I can't imagine he's going to be very pleased about this.
especially because if we get into a fight, he never takes his helmet off.
No,
So
but there you go. You've finally won something today. So
Don't take a piece of that. It was good. It was good 11 wins.
But there we are. That is a truly staggering thing, ladies and
We'll ask for
gentlemen.
more money from Frank now.
Yeah, you can. You can now say, I am the fastest Formula One driver in the world, and more than that, I'm faster than the Stig.
Fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rubens Barrichello!